difference in sentencing practice.
I call Mark Mitchell.
Mr Speaker, under Labor, serious assaults against police officers increased from 216 in 1999 to 412 in 2009. Labor had 9 long years to introduce changes to help keep our law enforcement officers safe, but they chose not to. Under Labor, violent crime increased 47%. Mr Goff, this actually wasn't part of my speech, but I have to say that I acknowledge your service and I acknowledge you as a member of our Law and Order Select Committee, but I feel your comments have been very ungracious towards a minister that's brought an excellent bill to the House. And I'll also congratulate Charles Chevelle because it is an excellent SOP. And I just want to say that last week I did actually attend the Rodney Volunteer Firefighters Awards. And what strikes me about and why I feel this SOP is so good is that I highlight the fact that they're volunteers. And they are first responders. And when they are responding, they're dealing with motor vehicle accidents, they are dealing with fires, they are dealing with incidents where there's intoxicated people, and they deserve to have the same protection wrapped around them as our police officers, correction officers, and also, of course, the SOP contained frontline health service providers as well. So I do congratulate Mr Chevelle for his SOP. I'd just like to speak about the fact that one of the points that Mr Chevelle raised is that he doesn't feel that this bill is actually going to make any difference in terms of sentencing. Well, okay, he said the jury's out on that. Well, I'd just like to talk about something a little bit personal to me, is that I did spend several years as a first responder. I had a very good partner, probably the most loyal partner I've ever had. He was stabbed twice. He lost an eye that had to be he had to have surgery to have it put back in. He was beaten up, kicked and punched. They tried to drown him once, and he wasn't protected by any form of legislation. The only protection he had was under laws in relation to the SPCA. And so there was actually a law brought in that made an offence to assault or kill a police dog. And this immediately did wrap some protections around him. All of a sudden, he did have some protection, and this did make a difference. This made a difference to me, it made a difference to my family, and it made a difference to members of the public. So I just wanted to use that as an example of the fact that he wasn't a dog that sat at home. He wasn't a family pet. He was actually a dog that went out night after night, put himself in danger, chasing offenders, pursuing gang members, pursuing the most violent people in our society, actually. He was probably a first responder. So he deserved to have more respect, more protection wrapped around him than those dogs that we actually have sitting at home as our companions. And I think exactly the same can be applied to this bill here, is that our first responders, the people that are going out there that are serving us, that are protecting us, deserve to have a bit more protection wrapped around them, and this is what this bill does, and I commend Minister Collins for bringing this bill to the House. Thank you.
Call Andrew Little.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. It's a pleasure to stand and take a call on the Sentencing Aggravating Factors Amendment Bill, and like my colleagues, simply make